Hi, I'm Dave Winfield, your host for Greatest Sports Legends. Our show today is a little special. You see, today's legend died over 40 years ago, but his name still lives on. He played 17 years for the New York Yankees, and he had a lifetime batting average of .340. He played in over 2,000 consecutive games, a record I don't think will ever be broken. And during that time, he became the foundation of the great Yankee dynasty. Today's show is about the heroic career of this man and his tragic yet inspiring death. His name, Lou Gehrig.
Gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it over the sand goal. Havlicek stole the ball.
Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's in for the touchdown. The Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions. Affirmed over the left-hand lip. Allier on the inside driving. Affirmed by Allier. Hits the mark. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's the drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
In the year 1903, America was bustling with energy. It was a country on the move. Thousands of immigrants from all over the world were arriving in New York City. President Teddy Roosevelt was advocating a new foreign policy by which the U.S. should speak softly and carry a big stick. Orville and Wilbur Wright were inventing a flying machine in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And baseball, the national pastime, was staging its first World Series. It was during this year, 1903, when on the Upper East Side of New York City, Lou Gehrig was born. Lou's parents were German immigrants who, like most immigrants, had to struggle to make a living. The one thing they wanted was for their son, their only child, to have a bright future. Mrs. Gehrig in particular insisted that Louis would someday go to college and become an engineer. Fortunately for the Gehrigs, their son had the brawn to go along with his brains. In 1921, Lou received a football and baseball scholarship from nearby Columbia University. At Columbia, Lou played both football and baseball, but he especially excelled in baseball, where his tremendous strength was being compared to the legendary Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees. While Lou was in school, Babe Ruth was setting a new standard for power. In 1920, he blasted 54 home runs, shattering his own record of 29 the year before. In 1923, the New York Yankees made a major coup when they signed Lou Gehrig to their team. The Yankees then sent Lou to their minor league club in Hartford. After 2 years of minor league ball, Lou joined the Yankees in 1925 as the backup first baseman behind Wally Pipp. Then one day, June 1st to be exact, Pipp complained to manager Miller Huggins about a bad headache. Huggins replaced Pipp with Gehrig that day, and as they say, the rest is history. Gehrig went on to play in over 2,000 straight games, and Wally Pipp never got back into the Yankee lineup. One of the great aspects of Lou Gehrig was his ability to hit for average as well as power. The Yankees made Lou their cleanup hitter, and the rookie responded. In 1926, his first full season, Gehrig batted .313, hit 16 home runs, and, as would become his trademark, drove in over 100 runs. Naturally, the media was impressed by this all-around athlete.
He hit that ball probably farther than anybody except Babe Ruth for his time period. He had that magnificent physique, and like so many power hitters, despite the fact he was a football player, he did not have the square shoulders. He had the lovely sloping shoulders that mean flexibility and batting strength. And in personal appearance, so there he was, a handsome, friendly fellow with the deepest dimples ever seen in a masculine face.
When Lou Gehrig teamed up with Babe Ruth, the Yankees had formed the most devastating 1-2 punch in baseball history. For example, in 1927, Ruth and Gehrig led the league in home runs. Ruth had 60, while Lou had 47. After them, the next closest slugger had only 18. The Yankees also had a strong supporting lineup, such as left fielder Bob Musil, center fielder Earl Coombs, second baseman Tony Lazzeri, and pitching ace Waite Hoyt. These Yankees formed the nucleus of one of baseball's greatest dynasties. When they won the World Series in 1927 and 28, many called this team the greatest of all time. Of course, the awesome combination of Ruth and Gehrig made it all possible.
Well, there it was, you know, it was unparalleled in all history. Ruth and Gehrig coming up together, and you couldn't walk one without risking what would happen to the next guy you pitched to. Consequently, it put pitchers in a bind instantly, and the threat of their 1-2 punch was almost as devastating as the effectiveness of it. Without Ruth Gehrig 1-2 punch, there would have been no Yankee dynasty.
The Yankees of the 20s and 30s were loaded with great ball players. Of course, there was Babe Ruth, Tony Lazzeri, Earl Coombs, Bob Musil, and Bill Dickey. But if I had to pick the most important Yankee of those teams, I would pick Lou Gehrig. Year in and year out, Gehrig hit the ball with power, batted well over 300, and always drove in over 100 runs. He was the ultimate cleanup hitter, and his consistency made the Yankees perennial winners. During Gehrig's career, the Yankees won the pennant 7 times, and 5 times they finished second. Always the team to beat, the Yankees relied heavily on Lou to drive in runs, and for 13 straight years, he had over 100 RBIs. In 1934, Gehrig had his finest season when he batted .363 with 49 home runs and 165 RBIs and captured the prestigious Triple Crown. Never flashy or flamboyant, Lou Gehrig saw himself as just one of the boys, trying to uphold the pride and dignity of the mighty Yankee dynasty.
Well, Lou Gehrig, to me, and I guess to everybody in baseball, was one of the great baseball players of all time. He was a great team man. He hated to lose like everybody does, but I mean, Lou was the type of fellow that would come in, would be 3-4 runs behind. He said, "Come on now, we're not beat yet, and it's not, the game isn't over." And he was just great. He was a leader, in other words.
Perhaps the greatest testament to Gehrig's leadership was his performance in the World Series. His lifetime batting average of .361 in the Fall Classic helped the Yankees win 6 World Championships. In the 1932 World Series against the Chicago Cubs, Lou batted .529 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. The Yankees swept the Cubs in 4 straight games. Unfortunately, Gehrig's performance was somewhat overshadowed by the showmanship of Babe Ruth. In Game 3, legend has it that Ruth pointed to center field and then proceeded to hit a home run in that very spot. Whether it was true or not, it did result in superseding the accomplishments of Gehrig. Not that Lou minded. Lou Gehrig was a man who was as humble as Babe Ruth was flamboyant.
There was a vast difference in personalities. Babe Ruth, one of a kind, went his own merry way and everything. He was a lusty, gusty guy who was actually affectionate toward everybody he saw. Lou Gehrig There was such a contrasting personality. He was almost shy of manner, and he didn't aspire to this fame or this glory that Ruth always commanded. He was simply Lou Gehrig, the ball player, and perfectly content in that role.
In 1934, the great duo of Ruth and Gehrig gradually came to a close. Babe Ruth was now 39 years old, and his production had declined greatly. At the end of the 1934 season, the Yankees released the Babe, leaving the Iron Man, Lou Gehrig, as the main source of power in the Yankee lineup. With Babe Ruth gone, Lou Gehrig, for the first time, became the biggest star on the team. However, the spotlight on Lou would only last for a year. You see, the next season, 1936, the Yankees brought up a hotshot rookie who had a flair for the dramatic. He was another headline grabber. His name, Joe DiMaggio. Joltin' Joe's unique blend of power, speed, and grace seemed to capture the hearts and minds of the Yankee fans. In just his first season, he batted .323 with 29 home runs and 125 RBIs. Joe assumed Babe Ruth's spot on the Yankee lineup, providing New York with another awesome combination, DiMaggio and Gehrig. In their first year together, Lou Gehrig was productive as usual, batting .354 with 49 home runs and 159 RBIs. New York went on to win the World Series in 1936 and the next 2 years as well. The Yankee dynasty continued to roll along, due largely to the machine-like production of the Iron Man, Lou Gehrig.
Although this is my 13th year with the New York Yankees, and not being a bit superstitious, I will give every effort to better my record of last year, and I sincerely hope we can win the pennant for the Yankees this year.
In baseball history, there's never been a player more dedicated to his team than Lou Gehrig. During his career with the Yankees, Lou played in 2,130 straight games, a record that will probably never be broken. His amazing streak of endurance symbolized the essence of the man, his loyalty and commitment to the Yankee organization. Despite various injuries, Gehrig kept the pain to himself. Better to play with pain, he reasoned, than miss an opportunity to help his ball club. With each game Lou played, he was giving new meaning to the term Yankee pride. However, in 1939, tragedy struck the Iron Man. His body had suddenly become weakened from a fatal form of lateral sclerosis. At first, Lou had no idea what it was and continued to play. Yet as his strength gradually diminished, it became apparent to everyone that something was wrong.
In the first place, he wasn't hitting. He had a hard time going down to first base. We could see this. But unfortunately, I know a couple of writers who thought that Lou Gehrig was malingering, that he had lost interest in there or was angry about something and wasn't putting out his best. What a terrible misunderstanding of what was truly the nature of Lou Gehrig. He was already deteriorated physically, and he was all on the ball field purely on his own spunk.
At the start of the 1939 season, Gehrig assumed his normal position, but after producing only 6 singles in his first 7 games, Lou asked manager Joe McCarthy to sit him down. On May 2nd, 1939, Lou Gehrig's incredible streak came to an end.
We never knew how serious it was when he first took himself out, and naturally, we felt bad to see his streak broken, because I think we were more or less more interested, I believe, the players on our club, in keeping his streak alive than Lou was. Lou was more or less, he said he wasn't helping, he felt he wasn't helping the club when he took himself out of the lineup, and he'd better put Mr. McCarthy, our manager, should put somebody else in there.
When word came out that Gehrig was dying, the nation was stunned. How could the Iron Man, the man who was a symbol of strength both on and off the field, be dying at age 36? The Yankees understood how quickly Lou's health was fading, so they planned a tribute for their great star. On July 4th, between games of a doubleheader, Lou Gehrig, the man who was often overshadowed during his remarkable career, would be in the spotlight.
The day was advertised as a tribute to Lou. There was such an outpouring of fans that every seat at Yankee Stadium was filled. And official after official and player after player of the Yankees came along and spoke into the microphone and spoke of the great affection for Lou and what he meant to them. And Lou, standing by, actually stooped as he was. I saw that day, if you talk about sadness in any gathering, that's the day I saw photographers cry.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Boy, I'm telling you, it was, to me, one of the saddest and nicest things I've ever seen in my life. Here was a man getting out of baseball, and he knew that he, was, I don't know whether he knew or not, but we knew that he wasn't playing anymore, and Babe was there, and Babe was on, and we're all out there on the field, and the fans, an ovation like I've never heard in my life before or since. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, believe me.
When people today think of Lou Gehrig, they often recall the fatal disease that tragically took his life. 2 years after Lou made his farewell speech at Yankee Stadium, he died from a form of lateral sclerosis. But certainly, Gehrig would have wanted to be remembered more for the way he played than the manner in which he died. For 14 years, Gehrig served as a source of strength in the Yankees' formidable lineup. As the cleanup hitter, Lou had a lifetime batting average of .340 and was always among the league leaders in home runs and RBIs. His consistency not only helped build the Yankee dynasty, it also made sure it was maintained throughout his career. It was perhaps because of Gehrig's steady play that he was often considered second to the likes of Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio. Yet when looking back at the history of all the great Yankee teams, there was never a more important player than Lou Gehrig.
I don't think there's any question the nature of Lou Gehrig's career was marked repeatedly by the fact that he was in the shadows of somebody or something. We know that he didn't get top billing in all those years of the Yankees when Babe Ruth was there. Who could supersede Ruth? You had to be number 2 behind Ruth. I must say for Lou Gehrig, he never complained. But we know that every person at some time who wants to be a little bit eminent, so perhaps there would come another day when Gehrig would get top billing. Perhaps it would come the time when Babe Ruth retired in 1934, as Ruth did. But no luck for Lou Gehrig. Along came the brilliant rookie Joe DiMaggio, 36, 37, 38, wiping out all of Lou Gehrig's, well, I won't say importance, but wiping out his chances to be number 1 on the Yankees. Everybody was taken with DiMaggio, his speed, his bat, and his charisma, and Lou is now second fiddle to a new man on the Yankees. Well, he did get top billing that memorable day in Yankee Stadium when they brought him out to give him all of those honors and the tributes and the thing that he wanted least, sympathy. That was Lou Gehrig's day. But came another day when Lou Gehrig died, No luck again. Unfortunately, he wasn't even the top obituary of the week. That belonged to Kaiser Wilhelm, who passed away in Holland. World figure that he was. Lou Gehrig was topped again. Not that it mattered to Lou.